everyone, so in today's video I'm going to talk about how you can get a PCR test done in Guatemala. So we needed to get a PCR test done in Guatemala because we were traveling through El Salvador, Honduras, and Nicaragua. For these three countries in Central America, you need to present a negative COVID test when you step foot into the country. So the test needs to be administered within 72 hours of you getting to the airport or getting to the land border crossing. So we were staying in Antigua, and they don't offer PCR testing in Antigua. They just do antigen tests, but the countries we were going to don't accept antigen tests. So someone recommended to me this lab called Blue Medical. They have locations in Guatemala City and the surrounding areas. So we found a lab that they have in San Cristobal, which was closer to Antigua than it was to go into Guatemala City. And we did our test there. But they also have a location a few blocks away from the airport, so if you're catching a flight out of the country and you need a test, I recommend going there because you'll have your results within 5 hours and you'll be really close to the airport. So what you do is we just Googled Blue Medical, we went to their website, and you fill in your information. So you put your name in, and then you select the location of where you want to be tested, and then you select a time slot. They have time slots throughout the entire day, and you can get them within 10-minute slots of each other. So they have tons of appointments, and if the location you want doesn't have an appointment, they have other locations, so you can probably find an appointment at another location. But there were tons of time slots available, so I think you'll be fine. So after you do that, they'll send you an email, they'll confirm your appointment, and they'll send you a bunch of preliminary questions asking if you've been exposed to COVID, why you're getting tested, if you've been showing any symptoms, and just your name. So you'll send that back to them, and then the next step is basically going in to take the test. So our test was for the next day, since we were on a time crunch, but you can schedule it further ahead of time. So we showed up, and the first thing you do is you park your car, you walk up to the entrance of the building. There will be a nurse there, and he or she will take your temperature, give you sanitizer, and give you a second mask to put on over the mask you're already wearing. So you're gonna have 2 masks on. This place is like the most sterile, sanitary place that I've ever been tested. I've been tested many times. For my old job in New York, I had to get tested once a week. And this is the nicest place I've been tested. It's so clean. The woman who took our information when we got there, and everyone that works there is in like full hazmat gear. So they were wearing masks, they were wearing face shields, they were wearing hairnets, they were wearing full scrubs, and they were wearing those booties over their shoes. So they were like on top of everything. So once she welcomes you in, she's gonna ask for your passport just to verify that you have an appointment, but I think you can also just walk in if you don't have an appointment. And maybe you just have to wait longer, but I'm not sure. You can definitely walk in though. So then you go in, you take a number, you sit down in the waiting room. The waiting room is also distanced, and it's pretty well ventilated, so don't feel scared to be in there. And then when your number's called, you go up to these little booths/desks that they've set up, and they're shielded in, so you're not in direct contact with the person you're giving your payment to. So when you go up there, you pay, and they verify your like information on the computer, so they'll ask for your passport to put all that in. And before they hand you back your passport and your credit card, they have aerosol disinfectant spray cans, and they'll just spray your passport disinfected before they give it back to you. So like when I say they're clean and on top of it, they're super on top of it. After that, she'll hand you a piece of paper, and you'll take that piece of paper to the nurse in the back, and the nurse in the back is going to administer your COVID test. So you'll sit in this little like cubicle area in a chair, and she's gonna stick the Q-tip things up both of your nostrils. So it's a little uncomfortable, but it doesn't hurt, so you just have to suck it up and you have to do it. So once you're done with that, you're done. You can leave, go on about your day. If you think you have COVID, obviously don't go out, like go quarantine yourself. But they'll email you your results within 5 hours. So this is what the results look like. Under my hand over here, there's a QR code that you can scan with your phone, and it'll pull up this PDF of your test results. So if you don't have the actual paper, you'll have that. So we needed this test to get into Nicaragua, El Salvador, and Honduras. So what we did is basically we drove within 3 days before the test expired through all 3 of those countries, so we could make it before our test expired into Nicaragua. And once you have these tests, if you're crossing a land border or if you're flying somewhere, you're going to need to hand over a copy of your results. So if you're going to a land border, print out multiple copies because they're gonna keep a copy. I recommend printing them out in color because for some reason everyone we've interacted with at these border crossings has thinks that because they're in color, they're the original copies, but there is no original copy because it's a PDF. You don't wait at the lab to get the actual results. So yeah, just print out extra copies, hand them over when you get to a border, and get tested. If you're traveling, get tested before, get tested after, get tested during. I think it's very important to me, and it should be very important to anyone who's traveling right now, to keep themselves and those around them safe. The only reason I feel safe being on this trip is because we're distancing and we're getting tested as often as possible. We've been tested already a few times 3 times while on this trip. So you definitely don't want to be that asshole going into a community and just doing whatever the hell you want, not wearing a mask, not distancing, not taking care of yourself and taking care of others. That is not cool, and I don't recommend it. So if this was helpful, please check out my blog at groovinandcruisin.com. I'm going to post a blog post detailing all this information I just shared, and I'll post a link to Blue Medical's website. So stay safe and take care. I hope this was helpful. Bye.